Well, good morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Thanks for coming on with us. And I have to tell you how much we enjoy having to go live with you guys and doing this on a daily basis. We appreciate it. And thank you for the huge following. And Brahim numero uno today. The war is on between Brahim and Michael. Who's the friend? Orangeville, right up at the top. Madeleine, how are you? And Mary, where's Michael? And Wendy from Markham, good morning. Thanks for coming on, guys. Kerry, Nebraska. And Keith, how are you? And there's Mike. You were slow at the trigger. Jeanette from our staff. Kevin. Oshawa, good morning, dear friend. Donna from Park Hill. Yolande, good morning. Nellie, how is you? And Nick from our staff. Nice to have you on with us. We love every Deb from Timmins. Georgie, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Fran says she's never been that close to the top. Jerry, Nouveau Brunswick, Denise, North Bay, Veronica, good morning. And Eva, how are you? Frida, good morning. And Anne, St. Catharines, how is you? John, Elgin, Illinois. Rita, and Jeanette, and Shirley from Newfoundland, Cecilia. Good morning. Shelley Baxter. And Sherry. Oh, Mississauga, I want to sing. Annette. Bonjour. Gary. Snowy Bolton. Chantal, Ottawa. Francis. Good morning from Vaughan. And Marcia. Mexico. Lorna, Fort Washington. Judy, good morning. Francis Marie. And Cheryl. And Vince, good morning. And Karen, how are you? And Mary from PEI. Kristen, good morning. Lynn from Barrie. Carol from West Virginia, my word. If I could only sing. Doris, Kitchener, Gertie, Burlington, good morning. Debbie, Sturgeon Falls, Carol, and Renee from Manitoba. Gloria, I missed you, Gloria. I didn't mean to. Olive from Oregon. Tammy, I thought I was getting better. I was hardly missing people, but I guess I still do. Faye from British Columbia. Alma, Snowy Sudbury. Wendy, London. Carol, Moncton, New Brunswick. Okay, couple of more. And even in down south, right? Is that David? Annette? Nativity. Nativity says, how come I never see you? I don't know. Marlene. Cheryl. Vicky. And Catherine from Newfoundland. Sue, good morning. They don't want me to sing, believe it or not, on Facebook. And there's Doc McEwen from West Tennessee. How are you? And Ruth. I missed you, Ruth. I didn't mean to. And Sue from Bolton. Okay, guys. Now, Luella, West Tennessee. Now listen, guys. I'm going to show you something, and I don't want you to laugh, okay? Well, you can laugh if you want. Remember what I always told you. I flunked art, okay? And you're going to see that why I flunked art. But I want to tell you the way I learn things, always been helpful for me. First of all, I write everything out. I love writing, and that seems to help the noggin up here remember things. I write out everything. I am perhaps very old-fashioned, but that's just me. The other thing I like to do is I like to visualize things, okay? So this morning, I want to talk to you about dementia, okay? And you're thinking, yeah, he always forgets or forgets me. Well, I hope that that's not dementia, okay? But I want to show you, I would do a little teaching this morning on dementia. And then in the second half of the program, we're going to talk about just some basic things that can prevent dementia, okay? So there are 5 types of dementia. Now I'm going to show you, and again, you can laugh. I won't take it personally, okay? I'm going to show you what I draw it out. Okay? So here's dementia. There's 5 types. So this, see the little nose up there? Okay. Okay, but I think this will be helpful for you. Okay, this will be helpful for you. We're talking about dementia. There are 5 types of dementia. Okay? And I see these little things laughing. Okay? Now, under dementia, there's 5 types. Okay? The one that's 50% of the time is right up here. Okay? And the reason I did this is because I'm showing the brain here, okay? And Alzheimer's is a form of dementia, okay? 50% of the cases of dementia are Alzheimer's, okay? And you and I talk about this almost every day. The number 3 killer in North America is a form of dementia called Alzheimer's. And 50% of the cases of dementia are Alzheimer's. Okay? Got it? Okay. And Alzheimer's, what happens to the brain in Alzheimer's? It shrinks. Okay? The brain is shrinking like a prune. It shrinks. Okay? So that's Alzheimer's. 50% of the cases of dementia are Alzheimer's. Okay? Now, I'm going to go down this side, and I got a V there. Okay? I have an A up here, Alzheimer's, 50%. 20%, you see this here? This little, not a circle, but a semicircle, is V, vascular dementia. Small vessel, vascular dementia. This here, my friend, is blood supply. This too, to some extent, is blood supply. We'll get into this a little bit more. Alzheimer's. Vascular dementia often comes after a stroke, but it's also called small vessel disease, and that can be, just decreased blood supply. Most of the time when that happens, it's a stroke. And it causes a form of dementia called vascular dementia. Okay? VD, vascular dementia. Okay, so that's about 20% of the cases of dementia. 5%, I'm going down near the spinal cord. Okay, PD. This is a P and that's a D. I know I write poorly. 5% of the cases of dementia are Parkinson's dementia. Okay? Now, vascular dementia, blood supply. Okay? Blood supply. Alzheimer's, type 3 diabetes. Okay? Type 3. This has to do with blood sugar. It's the biggest problem. Insulin resistance. In 2005, they called Alzheimer's. It was named type 3 diabetes because it was diabetes of the brain. And that sort of got hidden. The food companies didn't like it. And somehow it never really caught on, although a lot of people never forgot what happened in 2005 when they discovered that Alzheimer's really was type 3 diabetes. Okay? And then, of course, we'll talk about what to do about this. Okay? But Parkinson's, we're well aware of. 5% of cases of dementia are Parkinson's. Now, Parkinson's is a degenerative condition of the brain. Okay? Here's what we know. Okay? In a Parkinson's patient, here's what we know. They are often, the brains of Parkinson's disease, two main things. One, they have an enormous amount of fungus, yeast, candida up in the area of the brain here. Upon autopsy. Now, is that common knowledge? No. You got to go look it up. Seriously, it's, they don't. Who's they? Okay. Well, there's us and them. So who's them? Who's they? Well, the powers to be. They don't like, heavy metals in the brain, like mercury, lead, cadmium. Very, very common in Parkinson's. Very common. But they don't want to, they blame the environment for everything else, but they don't want to talk about heavy metals in the brain. And by the way, how do heavy metals get in the brain? They travel in the brain. They attach their wagon to yeast, fungus, candida. That's why I always talk about getting rid of yeast. Don't feed the bears. Because once you're going to have some yeast. If it's in your gut, no big deal. You might have a little bit of bloating. But if that yeast gets into your bloodstream, it can hitch its wagon to heavy metals. Mercury, lead, cadmium, aluminum, and bring them into the brain tissue. It's an enormous factor in Parkinson's. Okay? See that? Parkinson's. So we've covered 3. And Parkinson's is 5%, vascular 20% of all dementia cases, and 50% is Alzheimer's, type 3 diabetes. Now there's 2 more. One at 15%, and that's what they call Lewy body dementia. Okay? And these are abnormal cells in the brain. They're abnormal. And they make up 15%. Now, I think Lewy body and Alzheimer's are just about the same. They're a double-sided coin. How do you get abnormal cells? Okay? So there's Lewy body, number 4, And then number 5, you have the 5%, and this is called the frontal lobe. Frontal lobe, Alzheimer's. And again, what you're seeing there is abnormal proteins in the brain. And here's me on that, okay? When I hear that, frontal lobe, dementia, abnormal proteins, okay? And amyloid plaque. Well, you know what, guys? Again, what causes that? What causes that? And inflammation is a big factor. Over a period of time, inflammation is not Houdini. Something causes inflammation of the brain. One of the biggest responses of causes of inflammation is insulin resistance. Okay? We know that in Alzheimer's, 50%, that insulin has trouble crossing the blood-brain barrier when you have insulin resistance. Now insulin can't go get the sugar. And I've said before that in Alzheimer's, brain cells are swimming in an ocean of sugar. They're swimming in an ocean of sugar. And insulin can't get in to take the sugar out of the brain when there's insulin resistance. Okay? So that's really key. So how do you like my little drawing? Okay. That's the best I can do with a head. I kind of laugh at myself, but I figured, okay, at 71 years old, I ain't going to change. There's no use you trying to get me any better when it comes to art. But again, I'm a very visual guy. And when I think of dementia, I think of 5. And that's what I did. I just put little, okay, this is the way my brain operates. And then I don't forget it after that when I do that. Make a little bit of art. Okay? And that's the way I operate. Okay, now, what to do? Now, none of this that I'm going to talk about this morning, none of this is going to surprise you. It's going to be all repetition. But when we consider how pervasive dementia is, and it really has become the biggest fear. You know, when they do surveys, what is your biggest fear? Okay? Dying. Okay? Dying. 2, public speaking. And when you get older and they survey people, what is their biggest fear? Not even dying isn't number 1 in these surveys. It's losing the memory. Right? And we've all seen it. Every one of us have seen what dementia does to people, to our loved ones, or our people that we know, right? And today it's, you know, again, I always throw the word around maybe too loosely, an epidemic, but it really has become an epidemic. Like I say, the number 1 killer in the United Kingdom is Alzheimer's. It's number 3 in North America. Coming to a theater near you. It's happening. And I'm a big guy in prevention. I want to prevent this from happening to you. Okay? Now, there's no guarantees in life. There's none. Okay? There's no guarantees that you're going to, live till you're 110 with your memory. There's no guarantee of that. But you do everything you can. And this is, you guys know this, and this is really at the apex of my show, is for you to take charge of your own health. That's my raison d'etre. It really is why I do this every day. Because I want my followers, I want you, I want me, okay? And I'm just reminding me, moi, to do everything you can. Everything you can to stay healthy. Everything you can. Okay? So let's do this together. What do we do to prevent the scourge in society called dementia? What do we do? Well, why not just mention my new book, Sun, Steak, and Steel? Because at the top of the list, sun, steak, steel, sleep. Those are 4. Okay, those are 4. Let's go down the list a little bit. I put them here at the bottom. Okay, so can you say sun, steak, steel, sleep, DHA? We'll talk about that in a minute. Coffee. Yes, coffee made it. Made the list. Does that surprise you? Coming from me? Probiotics, and we'll tell you why, and pine bark. Okay? I put down 8 things. Did I forget anything? And, vitamin D, the sun. Is there anything the sun is not helpful for? Is there anything, the more they study, and I mean this, I just don't know if I've gone a day in the last year where I haven't read something beneficial, studies that have been done that get very little ink on vitamin D. Your brain needs vitamin D. Every cell in your body needs vitamin D. Okay? Vitamin D is essential for good brain. The sun. And we're so scared of the sun. It's amazing. But vitamin D supercharges, and they're showing this now, supercharges your mitochondria. What are mitochondria? Battery packs. Where do you have the most battery packs in your bodies? In your bodies. In your body. In your brain. Cells. Mitochondrial energy. ATP needs vitamin D. I like that. ATP, fuel, okay, energy produced, needs vitamin D. The sun. They're just, vitamin D and your brain go together. You want to protect your brain, get in the sun. Okay? And never mind, we'll talk about this as we get down this list a little bit. But, okay? Sun, steak. Okay? Now, obviously, when I say steak, okay, I'm talking about red meat. Why am I opposite of 99% of the world out there that bought the lie that red meat is bad for you? Why am I the opposite of it? Because there's no food on the earth that's got more nutrients Now, again, your brain is headquarters. Your brain is the federal government. Your brain is the operation center of your body. Okay? And it takes the most fuel. And guys, I have been consistent about this. Change fuel. Okay? What happens in our society is we give our brains the wrong fuel. Here's an example of it. Cholesterol. Bad. Well, wait a minute. Fathead. Okay? Cholesterol. Bad. The whole world went for it. The whole world went for it. Cholesterol. Bad. No, cholesterol. Good. You guys know it, but isn't it interesting? Every day, 7 days a week, I see articles, I see papers, I see studies, I see 7 days a week. Red meat, bad. Why? Cholesterol, bad. Even today. They're more interested, okay, I'm going to say something pretty silly. Okay? I'm going to say something pretty silly. They're more interested in your poop than your brain. What? Well, the world out there, the nutritional world, you know what they love? Is fiber. Fiber. The best thing you can do. No, that's not even close to the best thing you can do. Eat cholesterol. Your body makes it anyways, but you need to eat it if you want a healthy brain. You need to eat eggs, cholesterol, meat, cholesterol, and dairy, cheese, butter, cholesterol. Got it? If you want, and I know it goes against the grain, too bad, so sad. But that's the truth. Okay? And every day you're going to get bombarded on social media, in the media, social media, at your physician's office. Anywhere you look, you're going to be told to reduce your cholesterol. And there's nothing that's worse for you than to reduce your cholesterol. Dr. Martin, what about LDL? What about it? You want to die young? Lower your LDL. Why do you want to lower your LDL? But every day I get asked, every day, Dr. Martin, what do I do about my cholesterol? Eat more of it. Eat steak. Not only for cholesterol, but your brain. Fathead needs another vitamin. It needs vitamin D. It needs vitamin S, steak, and it needs B12. Your brain will not operate properly without B12. It's a fact. Your nervous system will not operate properly without B12. Therefore, you should be eating B12 every day. And you don't get B12 in the plant kingdom. Fiber. No. B12. Much more important. Much more important for your brain. Much more important for your cognitive faculties. B12. Vitamin D. I say it every day, every day, every day. Am I tired of saying it? No. I'll say it till the day I die. The importance of your brain is up to you. And you're going to have to declutter the nonsense that's out there. Okay? And I know it's going to get worse, guys. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. They're going to double down. They're going to triple down. The world out there is getting you ready to be a vegan. And they'll give you a little protein if you will eat their crickets. They don't want you eating steak. They don't want you eating vitamin S. They don't want you to have B12. I hate to say it, but it's happening. It's happening. And look, I'm not even out there to change their minds. I want you guys to stick to your guns. Stick to your guns. If you know the truth, what the Bible says, get the truth and never sell it. Okay? Get the truth and never sell it. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. You need to eat cholesterol. You want to be healthy, you need to eat cholesterol. Your brain depends on fat. You need to eat fat. Hello? Okay. I get excited and I don't even mean to. Okay. Steel. Sun, vitamin D. Steak, vitamin S, B12. Nutrients. All your B vitamins are in that food. Everything you need is in eggs, meat, and cheese. You want to have some vegetables? Go for it. And I mean it. Not during the reset, but you can go for it. You want to have some fruit? Yeah, God's candies? Go for it. But don't have much. Don't live on it. Because they're going to tell you to live on it, but it's not the truth. Now, steel. I, over the years, have been very consistent. Muscle is metabolically one of the most important things. Not only for the rest of your body, but especially up in that brain. Muscle. What's muscle got to do with brain? Muscle, metabolically, will really help with insulin. Now, obviously, you got to lay off the sugar and lay off the carbs. We talked about yesterday, we're wheataholics. How did you like that, by the way? Wheataholics. What was it, 163 pounds a year? Is it? I can't even remember that number exactly. Was it 153 or 163? Hello? What was it? Can you remember? I think it's 163 pounds of wheat a year, the average. Ooh. Guys, when we cut back, even better, elimination of sugar, okay? You are helping your brain so much. And metabolically, you need muscle, not just for getting up out of a chair or whatever as we get older. Not only that, guys, metabolically, you need bins. The more bins you have, especially your leg muscles, whenever you do leg exercises, think of your brain. You're protecting yourself from Alzheimer's, from dementia. Sun, steak, steal. What's the fourth one in my book? Sleep. We'll do the rest. We'll do the rest, I promise. But I'm going to end with this, with sleep. Okay? Again, huge, huge factor. Sleep is sort of a low-hanging fruit that helps everything, but especially the brain. You and I know this. The world doesn't talk about it. But when you're sleeping, you're detoxing your brain. How do I do a detox, Dr. Martin, on my brain? Go to bed. Sleep. I talked to someone the other day and said, listen, they don't sleep well at night. I said, do you sleep during the day? And they said, no, I don't want to do that because I won't sleep at night. I said, you're not sleeping at night anyways. At least shut eye. Get 15, 20 minutes. I've tried to teach you that. During the day. Sleep. It's when your brain detoxifies. Your brain has its own sewage system. It's called your glymphatics. And your glymphatics detox the brain when you're sleeping. And one of the problems in dementia is garbage left in the brain, unattended. I talked to you already about heavy metals. I talked to you already about yeast. Your brain wants to get rid of that garbage, but you need your glymphatic system to be working properly, and it only works properly if you're sleeping. Do everything you can to sleep. And they're showing even 15, 20 minutes during the day. A cat nap. Isn't that what we called it? Just having a cat nap. A little siesta is good for you. It's good for you. Okay. Did you like my little drawing? Okay. So, guys, little teaching today. Okay, what's tomorrow? Question and answer Friday. Always fun. We're looking forward to it. Looking forward to being back on with you guys. We love you dearly. Don't be shy. Ask your questions. Look, guys, you can question me. Okay? You can question me. I want you to be like the Bereans in the Bible. They search out. I just don't want you to take my word for it. We're right, they're wrong, and that settles it. And you're going against the grain, and you're going against the majority. Just understand that ahead of time. And you know what? You can bring a horse to water, but you can't necessarily make them drink it. I get that. Your family or whatever, they might fight you. But I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you, protect your brain. Protect your brain. Okay, love you. We'll talk to you soon.